What is up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about something that has been pretty controversial in South Korea and on social media and on Reddit posts. There was a festival, a ramen festival, and one of the festival goers, they decided to cosplay as a old character from a Korean cartoon, and the post on social media and on Reddit has drew up a conversation, basically backlash. Commenters are basically saying that this person is doing blackface. Now, I saw it myself, and sorry to say, yeah, I also do think it is blackface, but to be honest, this video is not really about what he did. It's what's in the comment. Sometimes this is what I expect. So many people just disrespect Black culture and Black history. It's just like, here we go again. The reason why I make this video is more on the comments, the things that I saw in the comments. And a lot of them are saying like, oh, he's just, cosplaying a character from this old TV show. Like, why do you care? Like, get over it. Koreans don't know about blackface and Black history, like all these things. So let's have a conversation about that. Let's get to know this character just a little bit. So the character that is being cosplayed or dressed up like as whatever we want to call it, his name is Michael, and he's from a TV show called Baby Dinosaur Dooley. It's a very old cartoon. I think it's back in like the 60s, early 60s to like the 70s in Korea. From my understanding, he's pretty loved by Koreans. I've actually heard about this character before. No one ever showed me a picture, and I've never seen anyone do any cosplay, but I've heard of the character several times in my time here in Korea. Now let's talk about blackface. Blackface is a racist practice of using makeup to create a character or a caricature of Black people, which originated in the 19th century. White performers would darken their faces with burnt cork or shoe polish to create a demeaning, exaggerated portrayal of African Americans for the entertainment of white audiences. Now, blackface is something that African Americans, we do not want to see because of its history. It's rooted in dehumanization of African Americans, oppression, and it just perpetuates a negative stereotype. And honestly, for us to be year 2025 and we're still going through things like this, it ain't surprising. It's not surprising. What's so funny is I tell my friends, my Korean friends, I was like, everyone hates Black, but they want to be Black or act Black. Recently, like this past month, was asking me like, oh, can you teach me Black talk? I want to talk like a Black person. Like, what's talking like a Black person? And I educated the person. I said, hey, like, it's not talking like a Black person. It's something called slang. Like every group, every location, they have their own slang. It's all about where you come from. It's not about your skin color. Now, getting back to blackface, like, we just don't like it. We don't want to see it. I mean, honestly, it wasn't even that long ago. If you actually think about it, segregation, Jim Crow, all of that stuff, that wasn't even a century ago, okay? We do not want to remember those times. We are trying to move past it. We are trying to be progressive. So for people in the comments to be like, oh, get over it, South Korea doesn't know anything about, blackface and Black history. Okay, maybe a valid point. If you want to use that as an excuse, okay, let me plays devil's advocate for your excuse. So back in 2020, when TikTok was like really blowing up because of like COVID, I remember I wasn't even on TikTok. I think it was on like Instagram when I saw it. I remember seeing on Instagram about this TikToker who really liked the rising sun tattoo, which I think is like a representation of Japan, but she did not know it was a representation of Japan. She just was like, oh, I really like this picture. So she got it tattooed on her body, and her Korean followers, her fans, they were pretty upset about it, and she received a lot of backlash for having this tattoo on her body. The Korean community was telling her that she needs to cover it up, that it makes them very, very angry. The history behind the tattoo is very hurtful to them. You guys see where this is going? Are we smelling what I'm stepping in right now? And they wanted an apology from her. She ended up giving them an apology, and she said that, hey, like, she did not know. Let's come back to this situation. What I probably didn't say before, which I should have said, the video was posted on the Instagram channel, and this person's cosplay outfit was on the Instagram channel. I think it was like someone reported it to like the human rights activists or group in South Korea, and there was like an investigation done, and basically the post was like, they was like, no, we're not taking it down. Like, we have no knowledge of that. Something around that. I'm not too sure, but the post is not supposedly not being taken down, allegedly. I'm not too sure, but no apology is going to be issued because they are not aware of that history. But as I just explained, we just have the situation in reverse. To me, it just goes to show that like everyone's not going to care about your history, no matter like what it is. In this time period, it's like we don't know any history, you know, any African American history. Why should we feel bad? Well, that's like the same situation when it came down to, you know, the Philippine TikToker. And might I add, because it's a character, right, inside of a cartoon, let's also remember that there are so many problematic cartoon characters. Let's go through a couple of them, because some of them, they're not Korean, they're not black, all right? Do you know this character here? Do you? Well, in case you don't know, this is Fredo Bandito, all right? He premiered in Looney Tunes. Now, I know about this character because I watched Looney Tunes. And this character was very, very problematic. Why was he problematic? Because he always wore a sombrero. He had a gold tooth in his mouth, and he spoke broken English. And on top of that, he was always stealing people's chips. I have Hispanic friends, or I would say Mexican friends, because Fredo Bandito was kind of like a representation of Mexican people. And they do not wear sombreros all day. They all do not have golden teeth. They do not speak broken English, and they are not running around stealing people's chips. Probably one of the most famous cartoon characters out there. Do you know who this is? If you don't know, I'm going to tell you, this character is Apu from The Simpsons, and he is very, very problematic. He was so problematic, they created a documentary. What was so problematic about Apu was that not the fact that he was Southeast Asian, but his voice was so dramatic, and he was voiced by a white actor versus someone who actually is Southeast Asian. And he was just like this typical convenience store owner, which is like a stereotypical job in America for people that look like him. I say all that to say is like, I think everyone, not just Koreans, not just Americans, not just Japanese, not just Canadians, not, you know, the Mexican community, Spanish, in wherever you are in the world, I think we should, you know, just take the time out to just respect each other's history. If we say something, if we do something to offend another group, just simply apologize, be like, hey, I did not know. Quickly educate ourselves. We have the internet for a reason. There are books for a reason, and we could easily just move on from that. I'll end it with this, because there was one time where I had said something that I didn't even know was offensive. I told one of my friends, we were both joking with each other. I didn't think it was that, you know, that bad. And I told him, I was like, oh, you smell like kimchi. And he was like really offended. And I just was looking like what? Like, and he was like, oh, that's like, to way he defined it to me, he was like, that's like also like calling a black person the N-word. And I was like, oh my God, for real? And he was like, yeah, like we don't like, you know, being told that we smell like kimchi. So I immediately, because I wasn't willfully ignorant, I just didn't know that, like, I've never seen that on the internet. But just because you don't see something on the internet or you don't see something in a book does not mean it's not offensive. So I was like, you know, I am so sorry for saying that. I did not, you know, mean to offend you in any type of way. I know we were just like joking around with each other. I didn't know that, you know, telling a Korean that they smell like kimchi is very offensive. I'm sorry. I will never say it again. And I have never said that again. That was a opportunity for me to actually learn that this is something that they don't like. So let me take accountability, let me apologize, and then not do it again. So and I think that we need to, not just me, not just Koreans, not Americans, everyone in the entire world needs to come with that approach that when you offend a large group of people based on their history, we need to make it right. That's it for this video. If you found this video insightful, entertaining to watch, please hit the subscribe button. We are on our road to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much again for your support. I will see you guys soon with a new video.